After a 50-day hiatus, the AFC Champions League Elite West returns for match day 7 of 8 in the group stage as FC Tractor host Al Sadd. Welcome along to the Jassim bin Hamad Stadium in Doha, the capital of Qatar. 4 games yesterday in the West Division, and rather bizarrely 4 draws, two goalless ones between Shabab Al-Ahli and Al-Hilal and Al-Wada, and defending champions Al-Ahli, while Al-Duhail and Sharjah and Nasaf and Al-Shota both played out 1-1 draws. Good evening for football, low 20s, and plenty of fans inside the stadium. Important game for Al Sadd. They sit on 5 points in the table. Top 8, remember, qualified for the next round, and they are currently 3 points off it, with a maximum of 6 points to play for. And they have the game in hand on Sharjah and Al Duhail. And if they can win here tonight, well, depending on what their scoreline is, they will definitely go 8th if they win above Sharjah on goal difference. They could possibly go 7th, but would need to score a hatful of goals to do that. FC Tractor face a potentially tricky finish to their group campaign. Their last match will be away to Al Gharafa next week. And with both Al Sadd and Al Gharafa just outside the top 8, very much needing wins to progress, then they could face stiff opposition. Add into that, this was supposed to be a home match for FC Tractor, played in Iran. They find themselves in Qatar because of geopolitical reasons. FC Tractor, just one of 2 unbeaten sides in the whole competition, having opened up with 2 draws against Shabab Al-Ahli and Al-Wada. They've won 4 on the bounce, beating Sharjah, Al-Shota, Nasaf Kasi and Al Duhail, scoring 9 goals in those 4 games and conceding just 1. However, they lost for only the 2nd time in 27 games last weekend in the Persian Gulf Pro League. A chink in the armour, perhaps, for their opponents tonight to exploit. The other reigning Iranian champions, and are in a 3-way battle at the top of the table this season. They're currently top on goal difference from Estigal and Sepahan, and they will qualify for the knockout stages this season for only the 4th time in their Asian Champions League history. On the 3 previous occasions, they have lost in the round of 16 twice, but last season they made the quarterfinals for the first time, losing to Al Tawoon of Saudi Arabia on penalties, having beaten Al Khaldir Bahrain in the round of 16. Well, as for Al Sadd, like FC Tractor, they opened their Asian Champions League campaign with 2 draws against Al Shota and Sharjah. However, they then suffered 3 consecutive losses to Al Hilal, Al Ahli and Al Wada before securing their first win of the group stage with a 4-2 home win over Shabab Al-Ahli last time out. After tonight's match, they face Al-Ittihad here next week. So for them as well, it's a tough finish to the group stage. Al Sadd are pretty much perennial participants in the Asian Champions League, but only occasionally proceed out of the group stage. Their competition highlight was being crowned champions in 2011, beating Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors on penalties, while they were back-to-back semi-finalists in 2018 and 2019. Last year, they made it through to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2019, losing to Japan side Kawasaki Frontale 3-2. Domestically, they are 2-time defending Qatari champions and currently sit top of the Qatar Stars lead by a point for Al Gharafa, with 7 matches to play. Great reception then for the 2 teams as they make their way out onto the pitch. Match day 7 of the AFC Champions League Elite, and in the West Division, Tractor FC from the Islamic Republic of Iran take on Al Sadd of Qatar. The Jassim bin Hamad Stadium is 5 kilometers west of central Qatar and holds around 15,000 fans and is home to Al Sadd. Let's bring you the team news. Tractor name a starting 11 that will be pretty familiar to their fans in this year's competition. 8 of the 11 have 5 or more appearances across the 6 rounds so far. Well, number 9 Tarabi, 22 Mohammed and 25 Drozdek have all made 4 appearances. Number 99 Amir Hossein, who's been in scintillating form in the Persian League for Tractor, scoring 10 in 20 this term. A transfer, that conversion rate to the Champions League would be ideal from their perspective tonight. Well, the match officials all come from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and they are led by Mohammed Al-Hoish, his 4th game of the season. FIFA's won the toss and has elected to stay the end that he is at. The referee was in charge of Tractor's game against Al Wahada on match day 2 back in September, his 6th game in the last 4 weeks. As for Al Sadd, they make 3 changes to the side that secured their first win of the campaign last time out, 1 in each line. Number 5 Tarek starts, having scored as a substitute against Shabab Al Ali. In midfield, number 4 Kamara returns, having missed game day 6, while in attack, number 19 Rafa Majika starts, having scored a 20-minute hat-trick on match day 6 when he came on as a substitute after 70 minutes. He also managed to pick up a yellow card in 90 plus 12. Turagan Skokic in charge of Tractor. Led the Iranian national team from 2020 to 2022, and he led Tractor to their first ever league title last season. There's a familiar figure perhaps to a lot of football fans, Roberto Mancini, who signed a 2-year contract to coach Al Sadd back in November. He's won 19 of 14 games so far, including winning the UAE Qatar Super Shield. It's his first club job since 2018 when he left Zenit St. Petersburg. Since then he had 5 years in charge of Italy, of course led them to the European Championships, and then was in charge of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for a year. Tractor's home form and away form, mirror image of one another. They've won 2 and drawn 1. Al Sadd, although this is a road game, they are playing at home. Their home form is played 3, won 1, drawn 1, lost 1. If you look at their road form, they've lost 2 and drawn 1. And I think they'll be very much looking at this as a home game. Basham starting in goal for Al Sadd.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. Let the countdown begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tractor FC get this match underway, attacking Al Sadd. Tractor in the red, Al Sadd in the black strip for this AFC Champions League Elite West Division game. Tractor defending an unbeaten record in the competition and facing a tricky prospect here in Doha. Ruhi up to the skipper, Afif. Big sliding tackle, and the ball returned to Al Sadd. Otavio to Pedro, out to that right hand side. Tarek goes down the line, little flick, doesn't come off, and here is Shoja. He's lost out, and Al Sadd have the throw in on that far side. Here's Dragan Skokic. We can have a longer look at him. despite winning the first ever league title last year, there was chat maybe he might move on, but extension signed a couple of months ago. Award for that first ever league title. Good possession early on from Al Sadd. Tractor yet to have any real time on the ball. Afif, little stab pass out to that right hand side. On it goes from Tarek. A little bit of skill from Claudinho, gets himself into a little bit of trouble. The back pass is here first time by Berevand. Otavio. Tarek. Tractor really marshalling that press. You can see Amir Hussein, number 99, pointing and pulling his fellow forwards across the pitch, and now a bit of pace shown by Giovanni. A good recovering tackle from Shoja. Had to time that one perfectly, and he did. Tarek couldn't get the cross in. Mohammed stopping the ball into the box. Afif. Again, well, the chance was there a couple of times to play the ball into the box, but Tarek didn't want to take it on. Then Afif's effort was in truth not the best. Little dink round the corner from Claudinho, and here is Tarek again, back to Afif, trying to thread it through, but it's cut out, and now perhaps a chance for Tractor to actually have a little bit of possession. Well, they're looking for the quick counter-attack, and here goes Amir Hussein. Can he keep it in? No. Barsham thought about going long. He was waving his hands, but looking to play it out from the back. Pedro. Buki. Into the middle of the park and dispossessed is I was going to say good covering back tackle by Claudinho. No, it was a foul on Halilovic. Whistle wasn't blown, so back we come. So the element of surprise has been lost. Well, having been under the, not necessarily under the cosh, but certainly without possession for the opening sort of 4.5, 5 minutes, here's an opportunity to apply a little bit of pressure. The ball in is not the best, and it's comfortably cleared. But picked up by Tarabi. Tarabi looks to play that in. Ooh. And player's gone down. Nodding his head, it's Claudinho. How about says Roberto Mancini? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Claudinho's probably okay. Shoja's got to be careful though. doesn't want to let it get to him. Yeah, Claudinho definitely making the most of that. Claudinho plays that ball forward and it's just a little loose, and Najad plays it back to his keeper, and there's a good press coming from Al Sadd. The free kick is given away. We're pretty pleased with the way his team has started this one. They've been on the front foot, they've been applying pressure. A loose ball out of defence. Trostek with a thumbs up, but body language says pretty disappointed with that pass. It's too much time to turn and play that ball forward. It's a poor ball from Claudinho considering the amount of time he had, but good pressing to win it back again. And here is Kamara, Claudinho out to this left-hand side, picked up by Otavio to Afif. Afif to Claudinho comes back inside onto the right foot and drags it back and plays it out to Afif. Afif looks to play it in, he does play it in, and the header from Firmino is wide of the mark. First sider for Firmino. Good patient play. Afif, it's a much better ball. Firmino, it's a free header. I feel he possibly could and should have done better. It's a high tempo, high press game from Al Sadd in the opening 10 minutes. And Tractor have seen very little of the ball. Play that one down the line. That's a little unlucky. It's the follow through. 50-50 ball and half a second too late. Oh, that definitely stings. Both stretching for it. Danny much later. Always looks worse in slow-mo. Contact lens issue. Where is it? He's just beaten to it. Settle up. Has been left by Danny and collected by Berenvand, who bowls it out to that left-hand side. Shoja going long and over the top, and it's well-weighted ball through to Drozdek. Drozdek looking for the support, finds it, and the offside flag is raised. Very late. And I would say he's not offside. I would say that is onside. Mancini asking why it was raised so late. So does have a point. As soon as he picks it up, he's affecting play. Yeah, just ran out of space. Did Hashem Najad. Kamara. Well, despite all that dominance, just the one shot so far from Al Sadd. They can't do too much more. The men in black, here they are dominating territory and possession. All they can do now is try and carve out some really good opportunities. Tarek got a bit of a stretch, keeps it in. Good tackle. Firmino lays it off, and that's high and wide from Giovanni. Again, Al Sadd played out the back, and played out the back, and Al Sadd apply that high press and turn it over high up the pitch. Aldinho trying to thread it through to Fief. Good looking ball to Amir Hussein, pulled back, and the shot comes in, and it's touched away for a corner. Trozdek with the shots. Barsham taking no risks. Probably would have just sneaked wide, didn't get it too cleanly. So first corner of the game goes the way of Tractor. Hashem Najad just being spoken to. He's trying to make a nuisance of himself in front of Barsham. Almost fell, didn't it? The header coming from Shoja. Halilovic. On it goes to Ahmedinejad. Wins the throw in. Yeah. Kamara comes across to cut out that other telegraph throw in. Nicely brought down by Shoja. It's another poor ball. They can't give away possession easily here, Tractor, because they haven't had a lot of ball. At least make Al Sadd work to get possession back. Fief. Look at the space Claudinho has. Like it comes from Otavio. Fief. Otavio. Otavio dances round, or doesn't quite get the better of Danny, who tries to make life very difficult for his opponent. Otavio into Claudinho once again. Pedro, look at the possession. Only 3/4 in favour of Al Sadd. Kamara around the corner. It doesn't get possession back. Al Sadd work well at the first line of defence to regain control of the ball. Claudinho, little chip up towards Afif, well brought down by Majika. Puts it up and over the bar. Who gets the last touch on this? Oh. So here's Majika, who was claiming that Shoja was the last touch of the ball. Shakhtar more than happy to try and play the ball out of defence despite the full press coming from Al Sadd. At the moment it's been working. That's a shove in the back from Kamara. Both teams zipping it around the back line. Claudinho with a little dink. Here is Kamara, Claudinho. They are being afforded an awful lot of time in that midfield, are Al Sadd. Every time Claudinho picks up possession, he has time to look up and try and pick his pass. Okay, he hasn't always made the pass. The bus challenge leaves Halilovic on the deck. Firmino out to that right-hand side. This is Tarek. Afif. He sort of ghosts one way, one side and then the other. Firmino. And there is Halilovic back on his feet. And I think he's just made his feelings clear to the referee about the tackle he was on the receiving end of. Again, look how far Otavio was allowed to run with the ball. Here's Afif now on the left-hand side. He just ghosts around, doesn't he, the Al Sadd skipper. Possession of the ball, pops it back. Kamara to Pedro. Tarek. Afif playing it long. Oh, just didn't sit down, did it? Giovanni. And again, they've opened them up here, Al Sadd. Look at the amount of space that Afif has in the middle of the park. Shakhtar will pay the price if they continue to leave so much space in such a dangerous part of the pitch. Yeah, good hustling, turns possession over, and now can they hit them on the counter-attack? Lovely ball threaded through for Hashmanajad. Good covering from Otavio. And Otavio penalised for that tackle or challenge. Disagrees obviously with the decision made. Got a chance to put a dangerous ball into the box here for Tractor. It was a good looking ball, but just too much height on it over Shoja's head. Someone's gone down. The Tractor didn't quite see who it was. Can't play from Danny. We'll have play stopped. It's Tarabi. He's feeling his calf muscle. So that's very disappointing. So who's going to take his place, I wonder? Looking at available forwards on the bench. Kelly, number 19, has 6 appearances so far this season in the competition. Maybe most likely. Keep an eye on him. He just goes down. He's looking in some discomfort, isn't he? I have to say, it looks unlikely that Tarabi will continue. It's ready. Nushkia, who is going to come on. The Albanian striker, who's had 3 and 3 appearances this season, 2 against Sharjah, 1 against Nasaf Kashi, coming on for his 4th appearance in the competition, 2nd from the bench. And confirmation that it is Nushkia who is coming on in place of Madi Tarabi, who's evening his run. So just past the midpoint of the first half, Tractor forced into the substitution.
Substitution for Tractor FC, number 9, Tarabi, has been made by player number 31, named Lafta.
Baron Van gets it clear, cushioned header, trying to help it on, but Kamara picks it up. Claudinho, Kamara, Afif. Firmino tries to come up with a little bit of trickery, but tricks himself. Well, there's a chance. Another opportunity there, getting closer and closer. Tariq, that's a much better ball in from him. Turned behind by Danny, just in front of Afif, who a full stretch. Firmino coming in behind Danny. And the right decision made by the Tractor number 11. Looks like we might be having a substitution. Well, Sad whipped into that far post, and the volley is skewed. Where's that going to fall? It's going to go to Claudinho, back out to Afif. Afif, oh, lovely ball, Claudinho, nice skills. And at the second attempt, it's Danny who just gets a right foot to it. Claudinho with some silky skills, couldn't quite get past Danny. Have a look at this. Somehow he gets back to make the tackle with the right foot. That's a phenomenal bit of defending. Pedro, Tarek, Kamara, hit the arm, yeah. pass of Samropikov. Thief. Aldinho. Tarek. Well, it was up around 70%, wasn't it, possession? It's gone up to 74% now. They really are bossing it, Al Sadd. But still no real opportunities. There's almost one for Claudinho, and Aslani Mohammed denies it. Lovely ball through from Afif. Tarek trying to pick out the run of Claudinho. So Giovanni is coming off. Disappointment for him. And coming on, number 23, Hashim Ali.
Substitution for a set.
So both teams picking up early injuries. Afif then to deliver from that far side. Tika going for that loose ball. Giving it 50-50, catching the arm of Beirenia. Yeah, not the greatest of headers from Huki as he turned his back on it, but it did cause some danger. Little grimace from the keeper, and he'll be good to go, I'm sure. An opportunity for Dragan Skokic just to try and change things a little bit, so his side can just get a foothold in this contest. They've been doing a lot of defending. Van, main goalkeeper for Tractor, spent a couple of years playing in Portugal and Belgium, bringing that experience back to the Persian Gulf League. Chico with the pressure, and Sedlar, who goes to ground. Al-Sadd really taking the game to Tractor. Quite a number of fouls already. Oh, it's playing out from the back. Well and good when the ball's hit nicely along the ground. When it gets a little bit of a lift on it, it can be very difficult for the receiving player. That said, Tractor played well to get that one out. Oh, and got there. Otavio had just overrun things. Defending, good use of the body. Swept out this left-hand side. First time pass by Otavio doesn't quite come off. So nobody really in red. Tractor to play to. To say, it's been an impressive opening 30 minutes from Tractor. It's been resolute, that's for sure. They've dealt with what Al Sadd have thrown at them pretty admirably. This full press continues to come from Al Sadd, and Tractor continue to play through it pretty easily, and the chance may be here. Shot comes back. That's not far wide. That was a really nice passage of play by Tractor, and Amir Hussain couldn't quite hit the target, but it was a chance, wasn't it? As it comes back to him here, it's pretty wide in the end. That really would have been against the run of play. Sad with a warning shot across the bows as they try and create another scoring opportunity. And Tractor enjoying some front foot ball at the moment. Amir Hussain switching it to this left-hand side. Hashem Najad, ball in. And Drozdek making a nuisance of himself. As he substitutes. Kia. Otavio. Aldini comes deep to collect and then almost shows too much of it to Drozdek, who was interested for a moment, wasn't he? Kamara, Aldini's little flick on is turned over. Just coming together, wasn't it? Ishkia picks himself up. Didn't seem to be too much in that. Tarek, like it comes to Firmino. To Tarek, outside of the boot to this left-hand side. Afif. Tavio's ball in. Deflected, and there is Halilovic. It's been lost. Good tackle from Halilovic. The crowd want a penalty, but Afif didn't seem to be too interested. Claudinho turns possession over. Claudinho from range. Keeper spills it. Well, he saw it all the way and decided that he was just going to palm it away. That, in the end, actually could have gone anywhere. Oh, Thief going down very easily indeed. He's lucky he hasn't picked up a card for simulation. Thief goes deep. Aldinho didn't quite sit for him after the first bounce. Little flick, headed clear by Sedler. That's a good looking ball. Tarek, and the keeper will come and claim. Nope, just out play. Nod of the head from Benevand. Pecho just takes his eye off it. Under no pressure, so can comfortably regather control. It's been an impressive start from Al Sadd. All they've got to do now, though, is add a goal to this domination of territory and possession. Good looking ball in. Claudinho dispossessed just as he was about to pull the trigger. Amir Hussein defending from the front, and there he is again. Claudinho picks up that little flick, and play on, says the referee. Claudinho onto that right hand side, he'll go for the return ball. Claudinho up against Amir Hussein. Tarek lays it back off, good looking ball in, but straight to Halilovic. Kamara, nice bit of control. Coutinho again dancing around, so that was Hashim. Kamara with a big tackle, fair tackle. Afif. Little layoff. Kamara, Pedro. Oh, just trying to help it onto Firmino. With Mojica. Possession that was as high as 77% is now down to 72% in favour of Al Sadd. But when you look at shots on target, it's one apiece. And you'd have to say that Amir Hussein's for Tractor was a better opportunity than Claudinho's, which was from a very long way out. Good pace shown from Danny. Out to that left-hand side, and it opens up again. Amir Hussein trying to feed it through. Here is a little ball through, and the sliding defensive block from Otavio results in another corner. The Tractor have been pretty efficient on the counter-attack. They've looked dangerous, they've looked incisive. Can they find that final ball to really fashion a really good opportunity? So to deliver will be Halilovic. That's the story every corner. The referee blows his whistle and goes to have a chat with the player right by the keeper. Into the centre it comes, headed clear, another corner. Halilovic to deliver once again, and again another the first line defence cleared as far as Claudinho. Firmino finds Kamara. Firmino, lovely ball into space. Has allowed Otavio to rampage forward, finds the skipper. Afif on that right-hand side. Afif goes down again. No control of the ball. And gets told to stand up. A little shake of the head, but he's not getting that. He's kicked that miles past. Didn't want that there. Halilovic, and a chance now here. As the shot from Mojica cannons off the defender and falls kindly for Tractor. Halilovic given a bit of a hospital pass. Veggie. Mistake, loses possession. Out to Afif, head up, looking for the pass, looking for the support. It comes on the outside, does it, by Tariq. The opposite skipper, Shoja, wins possession back for Tractor. Work from Amir Hussain. Kamara just shuts that door. Settler, Shoja goes long, Afif with the header, but only as far as Amir Hussain. Halilovic, good work from him. Jostek, Halilovic, over to this far side. Oh, it was there for Hashem Najad. Good looking ball, just took his eye off it at the last minute. He'll stare at the ground. So how many minutes of added on time will we have at the end of this first half? Firmino. Just the 3 added minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be 3 minutes of added time.
Kamara, still going Kamara, and he'll pick up the free kick. Caldinho will take and spinning to that right hand side. Tariq goes up and over the top looking for Afif, but far too much on that. Afif just points to where he wanted the ball. Just the quality in the final third missing for Al Sadd at the moment. They've got in some pretty promising positions, but haven't been able to apply the killer touch at the right time. Tractor, well, they would like a little bit more possession, of course, but given essentially they are away from home, it hasn't been a bad performance, but can they find an extra gear or two in the second half? Caldinho with a nice bit of skill to get away from the attentions of Reggie. Marino, camera. Again, they pass it around. Shot comes in. There's some miles over the top from Tarek. And again, a disappointing final ball. Few Tractor fans in the house. Halilovic to some Robakov. Haven't seen too much of the Uzbek player. Heart-and-mouth moment for Sedler as that one went past his outstretched right foot, but fortunately for him it was to a player in red. Forward by Reggie, cut out. Final attack is this of the half. There is the half-time whistle, and nothing to tell you about in terms of goals. In fact, we've only had 2 shots on target, 1 for each team, but that doesn't tell the story because Al Sadd have dominated this in territory and possession. At one stage they had 77% ball possession. That's dropped down to 68% at the end of the first 45 minutes. Dragan Skokic and his team have weathered pretty much everything that Al Sadd have thrown at them. For Al Sadd, they just need a little bit more quality in that final third to break down this defiant Tractor defence. But Tractor will look to try and get a bit more possession in the second half. They've looked dangerous on the counter-attack. The best chance falling to Amir Hussain, but he couldn't hit the target. And as they head to the locker room, both teams with plenty to think about. How can they break the other one down in the second half? Well, the coaches have got 15 minutes to try and implement that tactic. Half-time here at the Jassim bin Hamad Stadium in Doha. Tractor 0, Al Sadd 0.
Teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Focus, trail boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. And play a role in the future of football. With Kelvin, leave your mark.
تقدم من طارق سلمان، طارق على العكسية، سداوية.
Welcome back to the Jassim bin Hamad Stadium in Doha. The start of the second half of this AFC Champions League Elite West game between Tractor and Al Sadd. Al Sadd in the black strip get the second half underway, attacking the goal away to our right-hand side. Goalless at the moment with Tractor, despite dominating possession and territory in the first 45 minutes. Al Sadd haven't found the breakthrough. And skipper Afif winning an early free kick for his side, which he's going to take himself. Looks to swing it in, and Amir Hussain makes the clearance. So first free kick, closely followed by the first corner of the second half. Roberto Mancini in charge of Al Sadd. What magic has he worked, or can he work, in that half-time chat? If it goes short, Claudinho plays it back. It's an exchange of passes. Claudinho lifting it to the back post. But it's pretty comfortably dealt with by Tractor. Claudinho tries to play it first time to Afif. Danny wins the header for Tractor. And here is Klojdek. Nice ball out that right-hand side, and there's a 4-on-4 here as the ball gets played in. Important touch from Otavio. Afif. Tarek. You saw quite a lot of the ball in the first half. Plays it back, and Buhi plays it out to Afif. Afif. Claudinho. Lovely one touch. Claudinho back into the middle. And the clearance is complete. Kama. 50-50 ball, who's going to get there? There's a chance maybe here for Tractor on the break. As Klojdek doesn't get the throw in, much to the dismay of not only of himself but his head coach. Skokic, I think will be. I think he'll be happy with the way his team have hit Al Sadd on the counter-attack. You could do with them getting a little bit more possession and territory. Just shown a little bit too much of that to Mohamed, who makes a good tackle, but Kamara picks it up. Aldinho, Afif. Aldinho goes in, leaves it to Firmino. Oh, they've just gone each one another's way to Al Sadd attackers. I think it was Otavio and Claudinho. Kamara. Amir Hussain away from one. Still going, Amir Hussain, and then he's upended. A rather agricultural tackle by Pedro. Amir Hussain says, what about the card? That shows you. Oh, it's pretty cynical, isn't it? But gets away with it. Shoja Tries to move it out to that right-hand side. Lovely bit of skill to bring it down, trying to thread it through to Drozdek. First touch just a little heavy. Uhi gets it clear, and Claudinho in a little bit of space once again. Claudinho wins the free hit. He now wants a card. Helped on its way. Afif hooks it back into the middle. Firmino. Shot comes in and it's up and over the bar for a corner. What an opportunity that was for Hashim. Afif pulls it back in. They're just almost getting each one's way. It's actually Claudinho who has the final hit. To deliver. Wicked in swinger, it's cleared off the line by Sedler. Or has it been put over the bar? Who gets the touch? Last touch. I don't think Sedler's need that up and over the bar, is he? Yeah, he has. That's a great bit of defensive work from the number 4. A wicked ball in. I'll try to get a bit of luck with the goal kick, because that was definitely a defensive touch that put it over the bar. That's the closest they've come, Al Sadd, to scoring. Good step up. Defence from Danny. And here goes the charge now. Reggie. Space to deliver the cross. Pedro makes the defensive header. First touch wasn't the best from Sam Robakov. Good defending from Otavio, hooks it clear. Firmino win possession back. Here goes Firmino. Had a bit of a quiet game, the Brazilian. And so Claudinho. Tarek. Otavio. Afif goes inside, tries to thread it through to Hashim. Amir Hussain. Oh, a lovely bit of skill to take Kamara out of the equation. And Pedro with a sliding tackle, but it falls kindly for Sam Robakov and Tractor. Oh, 1-2, and over the bar from Amir Hussain. It's a couple of sighters he's had now, the number 99. Danny ghosting through, lovely bit of skill. That was pretty straight at the keeper. If that goes either side of him, that could have made life interesting for Barsham. He's been pretty much a spectator throughout this contest. I'm feeling the effects of that bit of skill from Amir Hussain. Can they find a delivery? And they cannot. Cleared first line of defence. Danny will go all the way back to the keeper. Danny, a bit of space for Hashem Najad to work with. That was always rising. Halilovic. But the best part of the best moments of the match for Tractor. A couple of shots in the last couple of minutes. Yeah, this is the bit of skill that has potentially injured Kamara. So Assad playing the ball forward. Well, second half, yeah, pretty similar to the first actually. It was, what, 68% possession for Al Sadd in the first, 64 in the second, although we've only played just over 11 minutes. But you look at total shots, the Tractor have had more in this second half. It's been a good start. Hashim. Not too impressed with the tackle. Reggie. Oh yeah, that second one's not his finest, is it? A yellow card for the substitute. Firmino's ball, constantly cut out by Shoja. Kamara. Loose from Huhi. Danny's got himself under a little bit of pressure. Just picks up the foul off Mahika. Who's looking for that was Danny. Well, they'll be hoping for something to cheer about going forward. The Al Sadd supporters. Nice control from Drozdiak. Reggie to that left-hand side. Drozdiak picks up. Amir Hussain was there for a little ball inside. Drozdiak took on the shot, and from that angle, it was a pretty comfortable save for Barsham. It would have had to be a really precise ball into Amir Hussain. Flick to Thief. Oh, that's going to hurt. That is straight into the face of Danny. That would have really hurt. That was hit with some power. Oh. Right into the side of the head. He needs to take his time. I'm sure he's okay. Xavier just comes across that. I'm sure he's okay. Well, the fans have sat patiently waiting for the goal. They've seen plenty of attacking play. 422 passes attempted by Al Sadd, completed 380, that's 90% completion rate. Just 202 passes from Tractor, completed 164, that's an 81% success rate. It's been dominant in pretty much most facets of the game, though Tractor have had 3 shots on target and Al Sadd just the 1. Here's a chance now, and there is the opening goal. Mojica with it. Afif just chests it down, plays it into his path, and Rafael Mojica makes no mistake from about 10 yards out. Shojep can't believe it. The inquest will start, but it was really unselfish play from Afif, and Mojica hits the target. Let's have another look. Well, beautifully headed down, nice chest control, but where was the Tractor defence? Still had a lot to do from there, but that first touch was perfect, and it's set himself up for that right-footed finish. Guiding it past the attempted blocker of Shojep, and Al Sadd have the breakthrough that their territory and possession deserves. Rafael Mojica in the 61st minute breaks the deadlock. Tractor 0, Al Sadd 1. A 4th goal for Rafael Mojica in the competition this year. So, Tractor, can they find a response? Amir Hussain was put out for that loose ball. Half an hour, just under, of regulation time remaining. So still plenty of time for Tractor. Well, he has 1 yellow card to his name. He doesn't want to get a second one. And he came about 5 minutes ago. Could be a really important goal, that one, for Mojica. Well, if it stays like this, it will take them into 8 spots in the table and into that final. They could be in for another one here, that final qualification spot for the next round. Kamara showing the yellow for the block. I'm not sure the grab of the shirt and throwing him to the ground helps either. So Kamara will miss the next match, which is the final round robin or group stage match. That's a lovely little touch. Hassan Najad cut down in his prime, just as he makes that little deft flick. Good work from Otavio to keep that in play. Back it comes to Firmino. He's lost out. Chasing, trying to win possession back. It's a little behind. Mohamed has it back to the keeper. Shoja. Very cool and calm under pressure in his own area. Squares it to Sedler, who had that magnificent clearance off the line from a corner earlier on in this half. Here the goal scorer wins a throw in. He's a little fortunate there. I'm not sure he gets the last touch. Where's that going to fall? It's a free kick to Tractor. Onto the hands for Hashim. Hika. Has 7 goals in 13 matches in the Stars League, and now what, 4 in 7 here, so he's doing the business, isn't he? Signed from Aruca in Portugal. He just spent the last couple of years. Going through the academy at Las Palmas and then joined Barcelona. He was in the B squad there for a while. It's an under 23. Didn't quite come off Tractor. And Afif will try and lead the charge here. That's a lovely ball, Mahika. Oh, he was trying to square it to Firmino. He was trying to play it across, and he just sliced it. The right idea. He had options right as well. Well, from a Tractor perspective, they started the evening in 3rd. On 14 points, along with Al-Hali and Al-Hada, and they will stay in 3rd at 1-0. They'll probably stay, or they would stay in 3rd at 2-0. It is his goal that separates these two sides. Oh, they're in again. A chance here, the skipper, Afif driving. Afif goes down. And it goes against him. Afif pleading. The referee has said what he's going to do. I'm not sure there's a lot. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure there's a lot of contact there, is there? There's a little bit, isn't there, on that right foot as it comes through, but no penalty. He just made a little bit too much of it. It was almost one of those ones where if he sort of tried to go on and sort of stumbled and went down, he might get it. But I think his card was marked because he went down very easily in the first half. If he carries on, he might get himself a caution. Tardinho picks up. That's a loose touch from Afif. Sedler drops it back. And a touch around the corner. Coming from Reggie, but can't keep it in. Good to see Danny back up after getting that ball to the head. 20 minutes remain. Tractor 0, Al Sadd 1. The breakthrough coming in the 61st minute. Rafa Mujica with the goal. Akram Afif, the Al Sadd captain, is very insistent that he should have had a penalty, but it's been checked by VAR. There is a little touch on the right foot, but I think he goes down maybe a bit easily. There's a little look of concern on the defender's face, isn't there? A couple of changes for Tractor, and it looks as if Mehdi has come on, as has Stakeli, the number 19, and making way is Hassan Najad. And Sham Robakov, the Uzbekistan player. Hussein, nice little touch. A little bit of space for Halovic to work with out to this left-hand side. Mohamed plays it back in field. Halilovic to the edge of the area. And put up and over the bar. I thought that might have just squeezed through the hands of Barsham, might loop in, but snapshot from the edge of the area by Reggie. Again, straight at the keeper. It looks like he's going to catch it, but squeezes through and over the bar. Oh, that's a good looking corner. And Shojic just got underneath it, but he had a free header. Well, the crowd have been pretty non-stop from start to finish, or start to the 73rd minute, in support of Al Sadd. And their team at the moment are rewarding them with a dominant display, but just the one goal. Tractor playing some good football when they get possession, but they haven't seen a lot of it. Hussein, who's looked pretty lively up front, he seems to be the biggest goal threat for Dragan Skocic's team. Kamara onto Pedro. On it goes. Good tackle from Mohamed. Here is Mohamed again. Kept alive by Tractor. Thief just goes to ground and it's still there, and a chance from the edge of the area, and it's dragged just wide by Halilovic. A really good opportunity fashioned by Tractor, but they can't convert. Danny does really nicely, squares the ball. Oh, that is a whisker wide. Keeper's beaten, he's not getting there. But it Squeezes past that upright. Look to the heavens for Halilovic, and Kamara, who picked up an injury a little earlier on, goes down again. They haven't had too much attacking ball, but when they've had it, they've created some pretty decent chances, to be fair. But there can be no real complaint about the scoreline, given the dominance of Al Sadd in this game. If they don't take the 3 points, it will certainly feel like a couple of points lost. Discussion on the sideline, and Kamara's game is done. He will be leaving the pitch. Change is coming. Sarria looks like he's coming on. Come on, he's got his hands up. Looks like he's coming back on. Kamara is back on. He just tests that ankle. It's been looked at a couple of times, isn't it? Change is coming. Mujica, the goal scorer, makes way for Al-Haydous. And Kamara is coming off in favour of Soria. Al-Haydous and Soria. Kamara's had a big game in the midfield. Mujica. Given the captain's armband to Al-Haydous. Soria, the Uruguayan, coming on for his 6th appearance in the Asian Champions League this season. Al-Haydous is 4th. The ball just evades Firmino at the near post. 12 minutes for Tractor to try and fashion an opportunity to get themselves back on level terms. Shoja with a bit of space out to the right hand side. Danny, that's a good looking ball. Now here's an opportunity if they can find the ball across. Takes a couple of touches before it's swept clear. For the dangerous ball across from Reggie. Halilovic. Shoja. Reggie lays it off to Amir Hussain. Here is Halilovic. Out to the left-hand side where Mohamed plays it back to Halilovic. Amir Hussain. The reverse ball and the little move on for Shirkeli. Gives possession back to Al Sadd. Barsham slips as he plays that clearance over Firmino to Shoja. Shoja into the final 10. Tractor looking for the equaliser. Hedger just beaten to it by the outstretched leg of Takeli. Mino under pressure. Oh, it's not. I tell you what, Mohammed's done really well there, because that would have presented Hashim with an opportunity, albeit from distance, because the keeper was completely out of position. Saria on to Otavio. Oh, there's a good looking ball. Claudinho tries to play it back into the path of Firmino, but it doesn't quite come off. And Tractor bring it away. Saria wins it back, and here goes the, well, I was going to say the skipper, but the armband has passed, and from the top of the area, it's blazed over the bar by Otavio. Let's have another look at this. Zafif pulls it back. Good awareness from Afif. That is not the greatest of finishes, or even shots, because it's not a finish. Maldini, it's been a bit quieter in this second half. The number 33 for Al Saadi was everywhere in the first 45, pulling the strings. And Afif has been a pretty constant source of energy for Al Saad. And here he is again, Afif, lovely ball through. And Claudinho sees his shot saved, and the rebound is wide from Hashim. Well, that was a chance to wrap up the points. And Hashim just lacked the composure. Good save as it comes back here. Hashim, well, he had time. That could come down a little further. It's wild from him. Well, only his second appearance of the season in this competition. It would have been his first goal. Flag stays down, does it? It does. To Cayley. Now it comes up. Initial thoughts were it was on. I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure it is. So Halilovic comes off. Mehdi comes on. His first appearance in the his seventh appearance. He had a goal against Al Bahia earlier on in the campaign. Milovic doesn't look too impressed. Overhead clearance falls to Claudinho, who swings it out to that left-hand side. Afif cuts back onto the right foot, still going Afif, and Claudinho takes over. Firmino, still going Firmino. And the shot cannons off the defender, made by Al Haydous again. Oh, and Hashim. Once again, this time with the right foot, scuffs the shot wide. Aaron Van. Under 5 minutes remaining of regulation time. Tractor unbeaten in the competition this season. In danger of losing that record. And that would leave Al Hilal as the only unbeaten team in the Champions League, West or East. Yellow card coming for Danny. Oh yeah, that's just a body check on Otavio. Let's have another look at this. It's not going to look any better in slow-mo, that's for sure. He's okay, he's dusted himself off. Just feeling his chest, I'm not surprised. And there comes the keeper to claim it. Pulls it out. And here's a chance. Firmino! And there are just too many passes involved in that one. And down the other end. Here is Mohamed. Drozdek, haven't seen too much of him. Firmino with the tackle, and the counter-attack is on. And Afif has seen plenty of the ball in the second half. He's also got acres of space. And they're in again here. Claudinho, and there is Firmino to wrap up the points. How about that for a pass from Claudinho, the outside of the boot, across the face of goal. And there was Firmino to bury it, to guarantee the points. And Tractor's resistance is broken for a second time. Afif, so much time, so much space, but look at this pass from Claudinho. Picks it up here. This is a pass of beauty into the path of Firmino, and he can make no mistake from there. Roberto Firmino makes it Tractor 0, Al Sadd 2. Second goal of the competition for the Brazilian. And that is a really well-worked goal. Roberto Firmino in the 89th minute makes it 2-0. Firmino's name rings out around the Jassim bin Hamad Stadium. 5 minutes of added time at the end of this one. Oh, the 3 points for Al Sadd will move them into the top 8, and it will mean that their destiny is in their own hands going into the final match day next week. Tractor's place in the knockout rounds is assured, but it will be a first defeat of the campaign for them in the Champions League. Al-Sadd move into 8th position at the expense of Sharjah on goal difference. Goal difference, Sharjah -7, Al-Sadd will be -1 if it stays like this. So Sharjah will need to win and hope results go their way next week. Sharjah's final group game at home to Nassaf, the bottom ranked side, so they'll be hoping that they would get the points there, but there might be more on offering here. Good full length save from Benenvand to deny the substitute Soria. Fingertip stuff. That was going right into the corner. Claudinho back to Afif. They won a penalty, nothing coming, and on the break goes Amir Hussain. Amir Hussain to that far side over the outstretched leg. For the defender who was Huhi. Claudinho looking for Afif, who is skipping away from Shoja. Afif playing it to the top of the circle, come back off the post. Oh no, Hashim is still there, block comes in, Claudinho, one-handed save, Firmino, blocked on the line, and somehow Tractor keeping it just 2-0. Hashim's had, well, 2 really good opportunities to score, and a third sort of half chance, and hasn't been able to take either of them. Al-Sadd, here is Claudinho, little back flick. As all the tricks come out in, added on time, Claudinho. Going to ground was Al-Hodos, but nothing coming, picks himself up. 3 times they've asked for a penalty. 3 times they've been denied. Good defensive work as we enter the final minute of regulation time. Referee just asking goalkeeper to get up. Claudinho, there he goes again with his little tricks and flicks. He's got all the skills, hasn't he, the number 33. Little check of the watch by the referee. And there is the final whistle, and Tractor's unbeaten run in this season's Champions League competition comes to an end, because they have been beaten, and well beaten, by Roberto Mancini's Al-Sadd. They dominated Al-Sadd possession and territory, but they had to wait until the 61st minute for Rafa Mejica to break the deadlock. A well-worked goal That was 1-0, and then they really dominated, and Hashim, the substitute, had a glorious opportunity at 1-0 to make it 2-0, but skewed his shot wide. But the second and consolidating goal came in the 89th minute. A beautiful outside of the foot pass from Claudinho found Firmino unmarked a couple of yards out, and the Brazilian made no mistake to make it 2-0 in the 89th minute. There was still time for Al Sadd to hit the post through Hashim once again, but their domination of territory and possession is rewarded with a win, and a win that puts them into the playoff spots and puts their destiny in their own hands. They play Al Ittihad next weekend, and they need to equal or better Sharjah's result against the bottom club Nasser in order to progress. A really dominant performance by Al Sadd as they take the victory and the 3 points. The fans that have come here to the Jassim bin Hamad Stadium in Doha have been well entertained. Mahika, scorer of the first, Firmino, scorer of the second. The final score in Doha reads Tractor FC 0, Al Sadd 2.